Hello, Merle. Well, hello, Merle. It's so nice to have you back where you belong. You're looking swell, Merle. We can tell, Merle. You're still blowing, and we know that we have missed you so.
You're going to play the piano, right?
So she knows who's here. I'm like, gonna get everybody. I'm getting everybody who's here.
Oh, well, good.
I'm getting everybody who's here.
You're getting live action shots.
I wanted to get everybody who's here. Walk and wave. There's not much. Everybody wave. Wave. Everybody wave. Everybody wave. I'm giving her this video so she knows who's here.
Love you, Merle.
Everybody wave, wave. No wave. Everybody wave. Love you, Merle. to see who else here. So, everybody wave. Everybody wave.
I'm not there. Hello, Pam. We miss you and wish you were here.
She'll like that. Y'all wave.
Hello.
Thank you for coming. Got y'all already? Okay. I'm taking video. I'm taking video. So she'll know who's here. DJ, y'all wave. Wave. This is video. Hey, Dad. Hey, Peter.
That she has ever played in every nursing home, on every kind of piano. Sometimes the piano matched the conditions of the nursing home.
And there was stuff on the keys and you didn't want to know what it was.
And for you newcomers, she's done this all over North America. So we're going to miss you big time.
49 states.
49, well, Canada too. She's international, you know. That's the North America. All of the pearls on your head, all the pearls on the table, and all the pearls we are wearing are just our way of showing you how much we appreciate you and how much we're going to miss you. And we wanted to do something really nice. And of course, Babs, she has her classy way of providing the social. And we thank you, Babs. It's lovely. And then we thought, well, maybe besides hugs that she'd get when she's here, that everybody could bring a card. And that would be something that she could take away. Well, we still wanted to do more. So we thought and we thought. And so Merle, here it is, your roast from SonShine Singers.
Oh.
Years ago, Merle drove back. We were a small group. And when we were going down the highway real fast, I mean the road, and Merle was always looking back. And we'd go up on the curb. And so about that time, Ruthie Carthorne started driving her van. And I jumped in her van as fast as I could.
So now that we just passed the microphone for any and all of you to say the Merle story. And here is a big guy.
Merle. All of you in this room know what a wonderful musician Merle is. But I'm here to share with you something else about her talents that you may or may not be aware of. If you are fortunate enough to be on Merle's good list or good side, when your birthday comes, you might in the mail receive a wonderful handwritten birthday card. And this birthday card is something else. It is handwritten. It is beautifully done. There is wonderful folk art, and there's wonderful prose and poetry. Now, you may say, oh, who is this big fat guy up here talking like he's an expert on all this stuff? Well, let me tell you, I am an expert. I was high school principal for 30 years, and one of my jobs was to periodically go down and check the walls in the restroom, and I can assure you there was plenty of poetry and folk art writing on the wall, and Merle, you skinned every one of them.
Well, many of us have known Merle and Otto, who are my kissing cousins, but know that all kinds of things have happened in the SonShine Singers, and I'm sure Stephanie has some juicy stories she would like to share with us. But we have just spared no expense. We've spared it. It's just really been an outpouring of expense for this program we're having today. Some of you remember a few years ago that we were singing out off of, I think, 3009 out there, and Merle got in her car to go to join us and to play for us, and we got there, and there wasn't a Merle. And we waited a while. And one time we sang a song about that. Remember the song? It went, hangers waiting for to come. But we waited a long time and Merle didn't come. And we finally found out that she'd gone to Seguin. So we wanted to commemorate this great occasion as best as we could. And we called around and we found some women from Motown who are ready to come and commemorate this great time.
And I thought I was following some people from our group.
I've done that, just follow the road.
You know, and I just thought, well, I'll just follow people.
Who else has a story they would like?
I have a story, but I hate to follow that. Have you been approved for that? Yeah, you've been approved.
I hate to follow that story, but when we were on our trip, you know, Merle was always my roommate. I don't know who was looking after who, but we were always together. Merle, I'm talking. You ready now? The story, and it gets serious. I mean, I'm glad everybody's laughing now because you won't be laughing later. I mean, we go and we're singing for Mark Edwards and the college there. We had a nice dinner, and then we go and she's playing the piano and she about falls off the bench because she was kind of woozy. How did we know? But she was kind of woozy. And then we get on the bus and we took the front seat. We never got the front seat, but that night we did get the front seat because we didn't think she'd make it to the back. We got the front seat, we got off, we went to our room. We didn't get to go play cards with everybody. We didn't get to do, we just went back to the room and we're getting ready for bed and all. And Merle says, "Now, Melissa, I just got to tell you this. If I die in the night, don't let anybody touch my body, because Otto and I have this plan with the Neptune Society and their number. Let me show you where it is in my book. And don't let anybody else touch my body. You call the Neptune Society because I don't want Otto to have to pay anything. And the Neptune Society come and take my body out. And well, good night. And she goes to sleep. And I can tell you she slept well all night. I know that because I was up. So the next morning we go down to breakfast. And one of Mary Hamilton's brother was there. And I said, "Merle, you need to eat breakfast with him. You haven't seen him in a while." And I went over and got John and I said, "John, we are taking Merle to the hospital now." I said, "I can't have another night like that." But anyway, we have been roommates since then and done fine.
Talk the story, we couldn't talk the presentation.
And my tale, but this is a memory, and many of you were there when we went to New England, and it was a lovely trip, and I invited my mother, who at the time was 91, and she brought a friend who was much younger than she, but the deal was, we were just going to be part of the trip because it was a pretty long trip. And, I didn't know how many days she had. Well, anyway, it's a long way from Kildare, and to New Hampshire. But anyway, I finally just said, it's our day to depart. And my mother decided she was not ready to go home. So I went home. I went home by myself. And Merle stepped in, and I have pictures of Merle hanging on to Mother, or Mother hanging on to Merle. I don't know what it was. But I went there thinking, this believes they're 91-year-old mother in a foreign country. But you know what? She had me, and that was precious. Thank you.
I remember Merle on that New Hampshire trip. Yeah, Merle had a single room at that hotel. And she didn't have a clock, evidently. Because we all got on the bus and I said, "Everybody got your roommate?" "Yeah." And the bus starts off and we look at the back and here comes Merle running down the road.
And that's when I got assigned to Merle.
I think I have quite a few stories for Merle. I'm going to spare you some of them. But my mom passed away about 5 years ago, and my dad had always wanted to take piano lessons. And so I decided that for comic relief, and so he could learn to play piano, I would talk to Merle about it. Well, she just stepped right in, and she's been going to give my dad, who is now 96 and a half years old, piano lessons. Well, she's been going once a week for the last 4 years. Well, he stopped because he can't see. He said, you know what, I just pay her every time, and I can't see, and I can't hear, and she's taught me to get on Facebook, and he said, she just got but I can't play one damn thing on the piano. She has also added years to his. Thank you.
Do you remember that lady that came up to me at Trinity and she said, can I get the leads yet? And I said, I'm sorry, what? Can I get the leads yet? And I thought, okay. How do I answer this? And so she said, well, I really need them pretty soon. And I said, well, maybe we should talk to the maintenance people and see if you can have leads. And finally the lady looked at me and she said, she said, well, Merle, don't you have those leads? And I said, who do you think I am? She said, Merle Hilbrick. And I said, no, and I don't have any leads.
She was getting leaves from our yard for the party. She was a decorator.
She was using for decorations. Okay, who has another move?
Just one quick. First of all, I want to say thank you. Most of you don't realize that for years, he and Merle carried the keyboard when he needed it in the back of the car. It weighed about 400 pounds. And every time they'd pull up in front of the nursing home, they'd open up this big trunk. And here's Otter trying to drag this 400-pound keyboard out of the back of the car, you know. I tried to help him carry it in, and it just got to be impossible. But thank you for carrying the keyboard for years. And then, I felt sorry for him, so I found him a keyboard. Decided if he'll throw that thing away or leave it at the church or wherever we got it, we'll start using this new keyboard. A Yamaha cute keyboard with all these buttons and stuff on it. Merle looked at it like, oh my God. And so she sat down and I could never get it the right height. It was either on her feet or on her knees or up her chin. And we finally get it all set up and everything else. Well, then the first time she used it, she started playing. It sounded pretty good. And then we got in about a couple songs and she started getting buttons. She thought she was going to play some of these buttons and see what they're doing, you know. Next thing you know, we had a rock and roll group. Drums and all sorts of music. She couldn't figure it out. So from that point on, I had to stand behind her every time I used the keyboard because if she did something wrong, I had to hit the off button.
We have here coming on board. 83. I have to read you my calculations. Up until then, I had thought that you had done 2,356 shows. So now you've done 5 more years worth. Yeah. Well, so the other thing about Merle is Otto. They are the smoochiest couple you've ever seen. When Otto was with her, they head straight to the back of the bus and sit back there and do what you all did on band trips. The most loving couple you've ever seen. And I think that deserves a round of applause. 60 years. You've been married nearly 60 years. Well, I heard you playing that with him. Anybody else? Oh, surely the more Merle stories. No, you're not. Well, even her places when she gets sick. And I remember Merle, she was sick. We had no idea what. And we thought it was a heart attack, but it wasn't. But she's laid there on her bed as we drove off in the bus.
With low potassium. So if you ever get a really, really hard heartbeat, it's not necessarily your heart.
Check
They
it.
did a bunch of tests on you out there, man, it was good.
Well, when we get through with this, I want some people to go stand underneath Merle the Pearl banner. Did you see that? At the far end, Judy Murphy did that. And then Sheila, do you have something to present to Merle?
I do. I was asked to, it was requested that it would be really fun to have a takeoff on your greeting cards that you make for everybody. So I did my best, and I'm going to show it to you right now. So this is for you, Merle, and you're going to have to read on it. And I believe that everybody signed it.
If you haven't signed it, run up here real quickly and sign it for her.
So, but I got Otto again.
Where's Otto? Instead of where's Waldo, where's Otto?
Oh, they're using a flannel.
Of course.
That's ridiculous.
So we'll leave that on the table out here in the foyer in case somebody hasn't signed it. The little pin things are right there with it.
If people,
Here's with us, this is not fair.
So when I was in high school for UIL, when I played trumpet back in the day, I don't anymore, but when I played trumpet, I would always ask Mimi to play piano for me as the accompanist. And she always did every year. But then the last year that I did it, she was like, oh, I can't play this. I can only play organ. I can't play this. It's too hard. And then, but she did it, and she went through with it. And just thank you for everything that you do for me.
Do you remember the piano? This is at the University of Texas in Austin. And we walked in and they did talk around.
It started about noon, and so there have been other people that have been there playing their solos for the guy, the judge was from Louisiana, or something like that. And so we were playing and all of a sudden, I had a stroke before that. So I kind of had that on my mind.
That didn't have anything to do with
It
this
didn't have
plan.
anything to do with my playing, but I well, anyway, so now into this solo, I noticed I had been playing this way, and now I'm playing this way, kind of sideways. And it kind of scared me, and I thought, what's happening? I thought I was having a stroke or something, and then we kept on, and I realized that the piano was on rollers. And these rollers over here were unlocked. He had a little spot, they do the little credenza where they're by themselves. So and I took the bench and I was playing. And then I could play it that way. So the judge was really friendly and he just talked with us and I said, by the way, for the next person that comes in, you might want to tell them to lock these because this piano rolls as you play it.
I think the judge took pity on that and gave me a good score for that.
Something to tell us.
I'm videotaping.
Sworn to silence.
Yeah.
How old was it like when your friends told you your parents were in the living room smooching?
They're good role models.
That's another couple. I don't know who you're talking
Good girl. Very good. Anybody else? I just forgotten something.
Merle gave our son Ben piano lessons. He really had wanted to play the organ because we had 2 organs at the house. And his idea was, I want to take organ lessons, and Merle told him not until his feet touched the pedals. I mean, he was a real little. Not until his feet could touch the pedals could he do organ. So, but he had to learn piano. Well, he took piano, I guess, from kindergarten, I don't know, 4th, 5th grade, 6th grade, and then he discovered the strings. And he played violin, and then he went into bass. He played with Alamo Heights Orchestra, and then he went to Dallas and played with the UT Orchestra, which was really cool. But he came back to San Antonio and was playing with First Baptist, and I don't know, some of the stuff that we do at First Baptist I think is kind of weird. Yeah, it's kind of out there, highbrow. And someone says something to him, he says, everything I learned to do was because of Merle Hillary. She gave me my foundation. So everything he did in the orchestra, he bases on what he learned from me.
But I can't let this pass without saying that Merle was laughs a day for all the time we worked together. I can't tell you what a joy she was for all of those years that we had, and our every Monday morning meeting. I don't know if we ever got anything done because we always talked and laughed. But I love you, Merle, always have, and good to see you. You too, Otto. You're a special guy to me. You're a special guy to me. Thank you.
This is not necessarily a tell-all. We're so blessed to have, I'm sorry.
We're related.
When you're in the house with Mom and Dad, she'll play. She'll play for an hour on the piano, and she'll play whatever comes to her mind. She has this little routine. She plays the whole thing over. So we get to where we know what's coming next. And you sing along in your mind. And sometimes I'll go in there and it'll be pitch black. And she's playing. It's dark outside. There's no lights on. And I'll say, Mom, do you want some light? She's like, no. If I ever get blind, I have to get started over. It's a blessing. Your blessing.
Well, I think do we have one person scheduled to come on at the end?
That's you, I believe.
That's me. Well, in that case, I'll give the mic to Merle.
Okay.
Well, I just remember the very early years of when we rode in the church van. Joyce Brooks was driving, and I was her navigator. I was her navigator, and then the other cars were following us. And there were so many times that we didn't get to the right place and we'd have trouble. And we would go up into the service station and just come circle around. And all the cars would follow us. That was a fun time.
We made U-turns and we made O-turns.
Well, I'm just curious, how many people are here who started
with the group in 83 or 84 when I was here. Okay, Jean.
Rebecca.
Rebecca, Karen. Okay, it's quite a few, all right. And I'm just so glad that you all have the idea to keep this group going, you know, because look what's happening. It's just, Mondays are sometimes days, it's Monday. But I don't think I ever felt that way. You all, it was always, we were up and ready, and it was just ready to go. Sing a blessing.
Well, you may not know this, but when Tommy led the group in rehearsal, there were only like 8 or 10 of us. And then Charlotte led it when we were out singing. And she went to work full time, and Tommy said to me, Babs, would you be interested in taking the SonShine Singers? And I said, if you'll let me do anything I want to, Brenda. And he thought about that, he said, I'll get back to you.
After that, in staff meeting one Monday, Tommy, just right at the end of the meeting, he said, I think it's a waste of staff time for you and I to be both working with SonShine Singers. And that's all he said. And then we dismissed, we had, you know, and it was time to go home. And I went home and I said, oh, Tom, he's going to take me away from SonShine Singers. And he said, oh, you're crazy. He's probably going to ask you directly. Well, it didn't turn out that way, but I think it turned out in a good way.
Okay, anybody else? No, I want to tell you how wonderful it was that I said to Sandra Martin, would you plan this? I just don't have time. And she, boy, is she good with connecting. And Anne Marie, and who? Judy Murphy. Anne Marie. These are not shrinking violets. Louise. And Sheila. And Sheila and Jean. What a great combination that was. We'll make that a permanent committee. Well, thank everybody for being here. Stay as long as you want and talk to as many people as you want. And if there's anything left up there, you can eat it. And we thank Sandra and crew. And God bless.
And we thank you, Dad.